Hello, one, two, testing, one, two, testing. Please let me know in the chats if you can see me. Let me know in the chats if you can see me and if you can hear me properly. I can see Danny Beats there. Good day, everybody. Please acknowledge in the chat if you can hear me clearly and you can see me before we continue. Right, Danny Beats, thank you so much. Let me just confirm that everybody else is able to join, because there's a link that I just dropped for people to join. So just want to make sure that everybody is able to join with that link. Right, I can see people joining there nice and fast. I can see Tendai Chigiji there, Nigel Chonzi, welcome on board. Itai Chitungo, welcome on board. We'll just wait for everybody to come in. We'll give people about 3-4 minutes to come in. All right, Jamal Kachali, yes, I can see Jamal there. Please, as you join in, feel free to just put down your country, the country that you're joining us from. That would be nice, because I'm actually streaming live from Warrington, Cheshire County in England, United Kingdom. Welcome on board. Feel free to just drop in the chats your country, where you're joining from. That would be nice, so that we know where you're coming from. Welcome on board, good people. We'll just give everybody a few minutes, couple of minutes to join in there, so that people don't miss out. Remember, we've got a few good prizes here. Okay, today we're gonna give so many giveaways. I can see Danny Beats from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. Greg Kachali from Malawi. That's nice. Blessing from South Africa. Welcome on board, everybody. Welcome. There's Tendai from Zambia. Tendai Chigiji from Zambia. Right. Heina from Zimbabwe. Welcome on board, good people. Welcome. Right. Okay. Welcome, good people. What we'll do is we'll get started. While we're waiting for everybody else to get on board, we'll just start with a short little story. I think when I started the group, I did mention an awkward experience that I had when I was at the University of Texas at Dallas, when I was preparing a history, U.S. Foreign Relations history assignment paper. Who remembers that story? Please drop something in the chat if you remember that story. And I said I was going to finish it at the live chat. So true to my promise, I'm going to finish that story, because that story is going to sort of like highlight the importance of basic computer skills for a student, and I'll also then explain why those basic computer skills are important for a professional who's working in any sort of like environment, and then also even for network engineers, for technicians, engineers. I also explain how right. Nigel Anesu Chonzi, that was nice and quick. Okay, thank you so much, Nigel. That if you interact, you may be in the running for something interesting at the end of the session, just for interacting. Nigel said I'd never used a computer. That's very true, Nigel. You see, the thing is, my first job was an air traffic controller at Harare Airport. We were basically using flight progress strips where we would take a piece of paper like this, but it was like a strip. Then would just write with a pen the details of the aeroplane. For example, AZW367 would be Air Zimbabwe 367. Its departure place, destination, number of passengers on board, etc., etc. So we would basically write those details with a pen. I can see Liza Shereni from Zimbabwe coming in there. So that was a job there. I started. I would just write them with a pen, pass them on to the senior controller there, and we went on like that for like 8 years. Now, I never got to use a computer. There was only one computer, but there was one guy, and it was just a very simple task, like just punching 2 keys, done. That's it. So we didn't use computers. So I had an awkward. For those who didn't actually get to see that that chart, I had an awkward moment when I was in America at university, because what happened is that I was supposed to type a whole document, right? It was a certain number of pages. I think it was 5 pages, and the instructions were clear, double spaced, right? Double spaced, and using a particular size of font, right? For example, font size 12. I'd never used a computer. It was a nightmare, I tell you. I spent so many hours struggling, using one finger, using one finger all the way. Then at the end of the day, right, when I thought, there I am now, okay, let me try and see how I can save this document and print it. I lost the whole document. I lost the whole document. It was terrible. But this is how the story ended anyway. It ended well. Because fortunately, a nice young lady was sitting next to me. I think she must have noticed that, this guy is in trouble, This guy with an interesting accent is in trouble. So what she did is she kindly, asked me, do you need any help? Because I was actually freezing. I couldn't even ask, I was terrified because the paper was needed the next day, Do you need any help? So when she said, do you need any help? That's when I started breathing. So I then just told her, what had happened. And because, where there's got, recovery, an area where you can recover a document, she helped me recover the document. And then she assisted me step by step how to save my document, and step by step how to actually print the document. And she was kind enough, to even, help me to save it in my email as well. So that was like a baptism of fire for me. So now we're saying that computers, ladies and gentlemen, basic computer skills, they are underestimated, how important they are. Because, for example, let's just talk about students, college students, polytech students, university students. Most papers are marked down because the presentation is just terrible. It's poor. It is just terrible. Case in point, I asked the cousin brother of mine to send me his CV because I wanted to push it to a friend of mine, because he's a class 1, mechanic, the guys who do the big trucks, and he's very good. But you see, when I received that CV, just looking at it, I was like, no ways, there is absolutely no way I can send this CV, you know, because the the way it's presented, the way it's just terrible. So people lose jobs because, you know, employers, they receive CVs, right, and they receive a whole bunch of CVs, right? They were like maybe say 14, 15, and then they get to yours and everything is just like all over the place. People are not gonna waste time, all right? They're not gonna waste time trying to decipher, trying to actually decrypt, or what is this guy trying to say, you know? I mean, where is everything, you know? The font size is not clear, you know. People don't have that time. So what happens to that CV? It ends up in file 13. Okay, it ends up in file 13. So fast forward. Okay, I've arrived in England, 2020, right? My youngest daughter was she was about 4 years old, you know. So I was a bit concerned about how does my family integrate into the new culture, and I wanted to get a job which would allow me to be there for her all the time, up until such a time where I could tell that she is now culturally, you know, over the cultural shock and well assimilated into the system, you know. So I said, no, I'm gonna get a night shift job, you know, straight night shift job. Now I just threw my CV to an agency. It's called Extra Staff Agency. Maybe some of you who are in England may know Extra Staff Agency. Now, this is what happened. This is what I want you guys to know, that when recruiters are going through a CV, right? If they see that you've got computer literacy, excuse me, it's a big advantage for you. You know, I just applied. I went to the Holiday Inn for the interview. We did the interviews, but they selected me because it was a Randox. It was Randox. Okay, the name of the company was Randox. This is a COVID testing company during the peak of COVID, where, you know, we are saying that they are doing 15,000 tests per day. All right. So I was in the IT reporting system. They just said, we are putting you in IT reporting. You know, they never asked me, where do you want to go, because they just looked at my CV. They knew that this guy is computer literate. We are putting you in what? In IT reporting. All right. Other people are actually being put in areas where they were supposed to open, you know, the boxes with the tubes and all those tests, and then unpack them and then accession them. They call it accessioning. Then process them through the lab. You know, it was like cumbersome work, and you're just standing. You're standing the whole night. Imagine we're pushing 15,000 tests a day. All right. And, so 15,000 tests during a day, meaning that, you know, day shift, night shift, it was just hectic. It was just so busy. But I was sitting, okay, in my office there with my mouse and computer there doing my thing. But if I tell you that I am a CISCO professional, right? I'm also a certified ethical hacker, right? But I not started looking for those jobs because I wanted to look out for my family. But if I tell you that, you know, with that job, it was just so comfortable and easy to do. But the skills that helped me out, you know, the skills that I was using there in that job, right? I was using Word a little bit, right? Excel a lot, okay? Online essentials, okay? These are basic computer skills. Online essentials, because we're sending emails all the time, attaching things and so on and so forth, printing things, you know, attaching things, printing things, and whatnot, you know. So these are the skills that we're coming to work now, all right? And also there was a database, you know, so we used a database management system called LIMS, right? So basically this is what we're doing. So for me, it was the easiest money that I've ever earned in my life. But I'll tell you, because COVID was well funded, I was actually getting paid at least the same or slightly more than nurses, you know, slightly more than nurses, using basic Word, Excel, online essentials, just that stuff. This is stuff that even my A-level daughter could come in if I showed her how to do it over a week. She could do it. She could kill it easily. But then, how many of us ignore those basic computer skills, right? I worked with a mature gentleman. This guy was fantastic. We became friends. His name was Michael. He had I will not say his name. He had a mechanical engineering degree. From back in the 80s. So he had been put in reporting, IT reporting. But I'll tell you that that gentleman struggled so much. It was terrible. He struggled so much. It was terrible to an extent where I tried to help him. But unfortunately, trying to teach somebody, Excel formulas, how to organize things and things like that, it's not easy, especially when you're processing like 15,000 tests a day. That's it's not so easy. And unfortunately, he lost his job. The worst thing happened. He lost his job. He was a nice guy. He would bring us, chocolate and sweets every day, and it was, dead nice, top guy. But he lost his job just because he couldn't use Excel and Word. All right. So I'm saying it's never too late to take the time, all right, to learn those basic skills. Those skills, you can learn Word properly in 8 hours. You can learn Excel properly in another 8 hours, right? I'm putting my sister through an ICDL course right now. Mature as she is, she's in her 30s. She wants to come and relocate to the UK, okay, and do the HCA, healthcare assistant. But I said to myself, no, do this course. So she just finished computer essentials. She's now on Word documents, and she's being sent to email me stuff and whatever and attach stuff. So when I get an email that's not organized, I send it back. I send it back. Where's the subject? Sort things out properly. So these are the kind of things that if you don't take on those basics, you lose your job. For example, I'm a senior NOC engineer, right, for a CISCO partner. But I'll tell you that the word skills still come, because when you are preparing a change for a customer, right, we have to prepare the change document on Word nicely, make the nice tables, description of the change. What is it? Is it a VLAN change? All right. Are you configuring maybe new access rules for firewalls? What are you doing? What is it going to affect? Description, you describe it all the way, which devices are you going to put it on? And sometimes, I have to email it to the customer. But do you think in the heat of the moment, somebody, it's a hectic, it's a fast-paced environment, right? Do you think that people are going to stop whatever they're doing and come and assist you to use the right font to create tables and to attach a document properly? No one has got the time to do that. Okay? No one. Leslie Shivare says, I have a little bit idea on using Excel. That's fantastic, Leslie. But let me tell you something, Leslie. What you want to do in life is, you don't want to just have a little idea. Okay? Why be good when you can be excellent? Alright? What is stopping you, alright, from being excellent? Liza Sherin says we are waiting for the question. Questions will be at the end of the presentation, Liza. Alright? And please also subscribe and like our channel, because the winners are those who would have subscribed. Alright? We're going to make sure that only the people who have subscribed and liked the channel get to win the laptop, because you'll be supporting us, and we support those who support us, right? So I think that's only fair, right? So don't worry, be patient, guys. At the end of the session, there will be questions and we'll give away. Where's the laptop? It's right here. Okay, it's right here, waiting to be won by somebody. Okay, brand new, brand spanking new. Okay, waiting to be won. And also, I'm going to send some money. Okay, I'm going to send some money to somebody before we close this uh, this session. All right. So I'll just double check my questions there. Right. So now, okay, I'm seeing some questions there. Okay. Jamal said, some people such as myself are more theoretical. What would be the best way to switch from theory to practical? Because honestly, I'm more of a reader. Okay, fine. We'll attend to some of those questions. On the question, I'll look through, then attend to some of those questions. In those questions that I can't attend to at the end, what I'll do is, even after I've closed the session, I'll go and answer them. Right? I'll take the time tomorrow to answer them. And then you can still go back and see the reply that I would have put there. So I was saying that no matter what your trade, even if you're a nurse, even if you're a doctor or what have you, right now computers are everywhere. We all need computers because you have to write reports for your superiors. And if you write a report that's not looking good, Mwenye Here Akili, he says, I can relate to the CV experience. What happened, Mr. Akili? Tell us, please. What happened with your CV? So basically, what I find, we are in agreement that this needs to be sorted out. So Mr. F's IT mentorship channel, it's meant to address those things, right? Because what we're going to do is, number one, not only are we going to point out where you can find the resources, all right? We can find the resources, okay? But we are also going to create playlists which go step by step, okay? To help with specific things like, for example, how do you put together your CV? So if you play that video over 15 minutes or so, it will take you step by step on what you need to do so that you do it yourself. People, please, family, get away from this thing of you write your CV on paper, then you go to the printers, then you pay $1 to get it printed. No ways. Especially if you want to come and work in the first world, it will not work out and you was fired. Eric likes what I said. Why be good when you can be excellent? Yeah, that's what it is. Excellence of execution. That's what it is. Excellence of execution. All the time. When your manager receives your email with an attachment, you should start smiling and saying, you know what? This is a proper thing. See, I this lady working for me, Kuzi, at Fantech, she was just amazing. She had an information systems degree, but you know what she would do, right? When we the whole team would send me weekly reports. Weekly reports. His was just so organized and standard. The other guys, the reports will be all over the place. But when you get this report, you smile. You smile because you know what? That is going to be a top thing. Nigel Farai says, any links to the college Fantech located in Harare? Don't worry, Nigel, we'll drop the links, all right? We'll drop the links at the end, So what would happen is that, okay, listen very carefully to what happens to people who execute excellently. In a time frame of 1 year, I think I must have raised Kuzi's salary maybe 3-4 times. I would raise his salary all the time. That's because she was so good. You see, I always tell people, don't chase after money. All right? Chase after the knowledge, and the money follows the knowledge. Are we together, guys? Don't chase after money. If you chase after money, you end up in jail. Okay? Chase after the knowledge. The money follows the knowledge. Every week I get I don't mean to brag, but I just want you guys to know, what it is. Every week I get an email from recruiters. They want to recruit me for one job or another, And some jobs are so nice you can't ignore them, Monday I was interviewing with Bank of America, I didn't even struggle with the interview. It was good fun because I invested in upskilling myself. You've got to invest in yourself. Okay? Invest in yourself. You see, there is not one single certification that I took, IT certification, that did not, give me a return on the investment going forward. Okay? There is not a single certification. Alright? In 2018, I flew to India. I spent 3 months there doing a CISCO certified internet network expert. I did the training. It was hectic. It was busy. But this good friend of mine from Gambia, Senan. It was busy, and we were working hard, morning to eve. It was. But I'll tell you that grind. You are simulating the configurations. You find that some of the things that I was doing there are very advanced. See, the profile picture on my channel, that's from India, okay? From a top college in India. When I got back to Zimbabwe, the economy was in meltdown, right? I could not advance. I could not even prepare to take the exam, right? I was so busy trying to save the company and so on and so forth. But the long and short of it is that in the interview that I had with Bank of America on Monday, they were asking me, about things that I learned in India in 2018. Okay? Are we together, guys? Yeah? They were asking me about BGP, Border Gateway Protocol, the protocol of the internet. How does this work? And I just told him it's a path vector. It works like this, like this, like this, like that. The guy was enjoying himself. We've got a company enterprise, 2 ISPs, right? You want to stop traffic going out to one ISP and going to another ISP. How do you stop it? I told him the configuration. You wanted the configuration, So you see that knowledge now. But when I ended that interview, within 2 hours, the recruiter was phoning me. Okay, it was phoning me. They loved you, mate. They loved you. They want you to transition to the second round of interviews. This time is a technical test. All right. Just want to show you guys what knowledge does. All right. My first networking job in England. All right. For a CISCO Premier partner. All right. What happened is that I went for the technical test, right? Okay. Passed the verbal test online. I went for the technical test. They gave me about like 7 questions, right? And I'm also going to tell you guys, after you do your course, right? What you do to stay current, to not forget. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that stuff there, because that's important. Because you can do your course and have your certificate, but then you can start forgetting if you don't use the information. So I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay. So for me, it was easy because I was not forgetting, because I was training these things. I was teaching like CCNP, Cisco Certified Networking Professional, right? For like, since 2012, okay? I was teaching these things. So now when they gave me the technical test, it's 7 questions, right? The manager said, okay, fine, we're recording this thing, because I know the technical manager is not there, but we're recording it so that I will also share with him. And then he said, every time you finish one question, okay? Every time you finish one question, please let us know, all right? So that I can just tick it, just let me know, and then I'll tick it from my paper. So I told him, okay, fine, I finished 1, and he ticked 2. I'll not get into the details of what the questions were about, but I mean, they were just, for me, really, they were straightforward. So when I got to 4, he lifted his head, he said, dude, you're cruising. But I actually knew where they'd taken those questions from, because those questions were taken from the CCNP routing and switching exam. Alright? And some of the seemingly tougher questions, they were taken from a CCNP T-shoot exam, troubleshooting exam, which has got about 15 tickets. Right? So those guys that I trained CCNP would have been very comfortable with that interview, and would have passed it. So when I finished it, right, the day that I started work, right, So Bruce Nyasha says he's watching from Zimbabwe. Stuart Vunzawabaya, willing to learn, having poor network. If you've got a poor network, don't worry, we'll make arrangements, okay? Eric says, Mr. F, may I kindly be excused for a few minutes? I have some urgent things to attend to. Don't worry, Eric, you can go, because what's happening is that we're doing this on YouTube, right? So because we're doing this on YouTube, this is going to be available on the channel, all right? So it will be available. You can always come back to it. Well, I'm going to now go into the CISCO track, right? Okay, but then I just want to say, when I started the job, the manager told me, you know what, we interviewed 15 guys. We interviewed 15 guys for this job, right? But you raised the bar so high, okay? You raised the bar so high that no one could reach that level. And they said, by the way, there's a question that we took from that exam, and we want to ask you that question to see if you know it. So they asked me the question but it was basically about redistributing like EIGRP routes. EIGRP is a routing protocol, okay, enhanced interior gateway routing protocol, from an EIGRP domain into an OSPF domain, okay? So I knew the answer to that, because you have to define the attributes for EIGRP, and you get that from the interface. So I explained to them, I was like, all right, okay, impressed. So there you are. So you can easily get your $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 job easily, okay? If you are willing to take the time to grind, to study, to empower yourself, invest in yourself so that you don't keep playing at the same level, right? You see, people are saying, there are no jobs, this and that, Really? There's a skill shortage here in England. They're chasing engineers, okay? If I train you over 3 months, you finish the entry level CISCO course, which is called CISCO Certified Network Associate. 3 months, but you need to be determined. You need to grind. Practice leads to mastery. You need to set aside dedicated time. Somebody will say, you know what? I'm a parent, whatnot. I start work at 8 and whatnot. I'll tell you guys. Success comes to those who are willing to pay the full price for success. Success comes to those who are willing to pay the full price for success. When I did my CCNA, right, with engineer Stuart Opwanyika, my good friend, I'm sure he's there on the channel there. When I did my CCNA, right, I quickly realized that, okay, this is evolving, right? This needs a lot of reading, a lot of configuration, right? Then I said, okay, what do? I looked at my timetable, okay? So, Sten Guara, welcome, my guy. So I looked at my timetable and I said, okay, fine, I have to get up at 4. So I'll get up at 4, 5, 6, right? 6:30 after 2.5 hours of study. Then I'll go and, shower, take my child to school, then go to work. And the guys at my workplace, they were laughing at me. Saying, because I was 37 years old doing CCNA. Okay? Hey, you want to start studying when you're old like this, blah, 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 blah. Hey. But I'll tell you that some of those guys are still selling milli-mil. Some of them don't even have jobs right now because they did not take the time to empower themselves. And also, secondly, while still on CCNA, you see, the world is always changing. We are now in a world which is being run by networks. So you need to look at the patterns, okay, of how the world is changing and revolving. There's some jobs right now which are becoming redundant. Think about the guy who used to fix VCRs, video players. Is that guy still in business? Hmm? His business was taken over by the guy who was fixing DVDs, DVD players. But is the DVD player guy still in business? No, there's now Netflix, there's now DSTV, there is in abundance, Amazon Prime, they are battling Disney, all of that is available to you. So, I mean, I don't know when I last used the DVD player. So, if you're going to be stuck in the area where you say, I'm a top, I'm a top, technician for DVDs, my friend, you're in trouble. Let me tell you an example of what happened. I was training a bunch of guys from Tier 1. This is in 2011, right? Okay, 2011. I was training a bunch of guys. I'd actually been engaged by another college. I just started Fantech. That's when I just started Fantech. I think about just 2 minutes into starting Fantech. They said, I've only got one trainer, but this is a crash program. Please come in what? And help, so that you can actually do, our guy can do 8:30 to 12, and then you do 1 to 4:30, right? So what actually happened is this. When I finished training those guys, I said, because some of them were coming from all over the place, like Gweru and what have you, it was a crash program. I told them something that was going to prove to be prophetic. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I think there was 1 or 2 ladies there. Please, now that we've taught you about how CISCO networks work, how IP networks work, please make sure that you study these things, right? You master them, you get the certification, because certification validates that you can do what you can do. Alright? It validates that you can do what you can do. Alright? And once you've got your certificate, right? Leslie Chivare, he's enjoying it. He says success comes to those who are willing to fulfill what you can repeat. Okay, Leslie, I said success comes to those who are willing to pay the full price for success. What is the full price for success, Leslie? Is working hard, grinding. Alright? Working hard, grinding. Okay, Nigel Farah is saying, is it possible posting the questions on the Telegram channel or WhatsApp group by today's evening? Network is here is quite an issue, so the video is always rebuffing. Alright, okay, I understand the issue with African networks. So Nigel, what I'll do is, because I think it's affecting a lot of people, because I've heard somebody else saying that. Liza Sherry says, my network is so bad. So to be fair, guys, once I end this presentation, right, what I'll do is, I will post the pictures, the questions at the same time on WhatsApp and Telegram at the same time. Alright? I'll post them when I end the presentation. I'll post them within about Danny Beats is enjoying it, grinding. Okay, right? So I'll post them at the same time so that we make it a fair and equal playing field for everybody. Alright? So please take the time to subscribe. Take the time to like, all right, so that that is the entry point if you want to win the laptop. And there's also $50 to be won. Okay, there's also and the winner, I'll put the winners by tomorrow. I'll put the winners, and I'll actually send the money via World Remit to the winner. And what I'll also do is I'll ask them to take a picture of themselves, the winners, and then dispatch the laptop. And when it arrives, I'll ask the winner to also and then also the winners of the discounts. Okay, so basically I was telling these Tier 1 guys that, guys, if you don't take this course seriously, practice the configurations. Remember, practice leads to mastery, right? Let me ask you one thing. When you are learning how to drive, okay, this is a question. When you are learning how to drive, what is the okay, for example, in Zimbabwe, there's VID. These are the guys who take the tests, who examine people, right? In England, there's DVLA. In Malawi, there could be something else. In Zambia, something else. What is their recommendation number of tests that you need to, number of lessons that you need to take? Number of lessons that you need to take before you go and get tested. What is the recommendation? Do they say, after 2 lessons you can come? No, they don't. Why? Because they understand that the concept practice leads to mastery. Okay, the more you practice it, the more you get to master it, and the more you get to master it, the more you get to love it. You can never love something that you don't know very well. So that's the thing, just take the time, invest the time, but you're investing in yourself so that in future you are not going to be getting the 1,000 pounds a month job. You're not going to be opening boxes the whole night. So I'm saying let's reinvent. Danny Beats says 30 lessons. Yeah, that's the thing, 30 lessons. And I think it's about 30 minutes per lesson. They know that in 30 lessons time, you're getting there, you're somewhere there. Okay? So I told those guys from Tier 1, but most of them did not invest in that time. Okay? They did not. Because you see, people tend to like to enjoy being in a comfort zone, doing the same old thing, but expecting, Steve Jobs says dogma is doing the same things every day, but you're expecting different results. You want to earn more money, they're not giving me enough money, But Nigel Farah says was by Tier 1 that year. Nigel, did you know what happened there? Because there was a human resource manager that they took from Liquid Telecom. All right? That human resource manager, when that human resource manager came, everybody was asked to bring their CVs. Because, you're saying, I'm the senior guy, yeah? You've got an office there, you've got a company car. Then the new HR manager said, bring your CV. We want to look at your CV. The world has changed. It's not IP networks, my friends. It's no longer PPABXs. It's no longer the old thing, man. You now need to know your Cisco networking. You now need to know what an IP address is. Okay? There was carnage. There was disaster. There was gnashing of teeth. Just because people did not want to take the time to study. But guess what? You're only taking the time to study hard for a few months. That will change the rest of your life. So, anyway, sadly, some people lost their jobs. Some people who were managers were asked to give the car keys in the office to a young man who's just come from the university and who's also got Cisco, who's also Cisco certified, and you're now reporting to him. He was your subordinate yesterday, but you are now reporting to him, and he's telling you, Baba, run. You need to go and do this. So that's the thing. Invest in yourself. So right, CCNA, Cisco certified networking associate. Right? And I'm going to tell you something very interesting. We're going to make some things very, very available on this channel. And we're going to handhold you, guide you that you need to do this, and that. Those with poor networks, don't worry. If you are in, especially if you are in Zimbabwe, you can make a plan, for you to go somewhere. And if you are in Malawi, no problem. There's a place for you there. I've got my good friends there who can sort you out. In Zambia, again, no problem. My good friends can sort you out. So, CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? After Cisco Certified Network Associate, what's happening is that you go into the professional level, okay? Cisco Certified Network Professional. But then this is where it branches into tracks, all right? Okay? If you are doing the routing and switching track, all right? Routing and switching track. I'll explain these tracks in more detail in future, right? Because of the time now, because I'm seeing that we've been going now for quite a bit. But if you're doing the routing and switching track, you can take what they call the CCNP ENCO exam. ENCO stands for Enterprise Core. Okay? Cisco Certified Network Professional Enterprise Core, right? You take that exam, right? Then, after you take that exam, there's what they call now a concentration exam. I'm gonna put these things on Instagram and on Telegram and WhatsApp playlists so that you can see the. And I also put a video. I'll put a video on the channel that just describe it. So that if you want to go back to it, you can find it very easily. The tricks that you can do. So. Enterprise Core, CCNP ENCO. Then after that, you can take a concentration exam. The concentration exams now, there's advanced routing and switching. There is things like SD1, okay, software defined wide area networks, all right. There is things like a collaboration. There's wireless, I think, as well. So I'll just put it down nicely so that you guys can see it. All right, but today I just want to explain it. So after that, now you can now take the topmost Cisco certification, which is called Cisco Certified Internetwork Expert. Cisco Certified Internetwork Expert. Right, this is the one that I went to train for in India in 3 months. All right, for 3 months I was training for that one in India. Right, this is the level where now, my friend, that's an 8-hour lab. All right, here in England they don't even test that. There's no place that tests it. Okay, in Europe you go to Brussels to take that exam. All right, and then there's also Dubai, I think, and then there's India's got a couple of centers there. But when you get to that level, like I said, money is chasing you now. We're not talking about salaries of about 70,000 pounds, America over 100,000 US dollars, Australia over 100,000, thereabouts. I'll put all that information there. I was just checking here. I was asking my friend ChatGPT the average salary range for CCNA certified network engineers in the UK. Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? The one that I was talking about, the first one, that takes 3 months for you to train. Listen to this. Approximately 25,000 to 45,000 per year. All right? 25,000 to 45,000 per year. You heard Made Mary in the testimonial if you have played it. Okay? We got a CCNA certified. We got a CCNP certified. Huh? If she was in England, the recruiters would be chasing me the way they're chasing me as well. Huh? Okay, so 25,000 to 45,000 per year. Now you've come to England as a dependent. Okay, or your wife is an HCA, or your wife is a nurse, right? Now, why should you be? Why should you be, opening boxes at Amazon every night? Standing, opening boxes. Sometimes carrying the boxes. When Mr. F is there and he can get you CCNA certified in 3 months. Why should you be doing that? Not only to get you certified, we'll help to prepare you for the interview. Not only there, but we'll actually do the practical based things. You see? Let me show you something, guys. This is a practical based course. Because I saw somebody asking about practicals. Normsoft Solution says, does Fantech train practical on CCNA? Right. Let me show you guys. Okay, there is my console cable, right? Console cable. There is my console cable. This one, you use it to connect to the networking devices, right? Okay? You can connect. This is a wireless access point, yeah? Alright, I've got my home lab, guys. If you get to a mechanic's house, you see all these tool boxes. These are the tools of my trade, and I know them like the back of my hand. Okay, all right, because I want to master my trade. You see, Pastor Chris said something. If you're going to be a cobbler, be the best cobbler in town. Are you together, guys? If you're going to be a cobbler, be the best cobbler in town. Why stick for average when you can be the best? See, there's a guy who used to cut my hair in Zimbabwe. This is a switch that you find in a company data center. Your Econet and your what. This is a 3750 series catalyst switch. All right, 48 ports. Okay, practical best. So if you're going to go do our training, even if you are wherever you're in the world, you will remotely connect to this guy, yeah? Okay? You remotely connect to this guy, yeah? And we'll take you through the process, step by step. There is nothing to fear about IT. I used to have a serious technophobia myself. So my best friend, Arnold, who's in South Africa, when he heard that I'm now Cisco certified, he was shocked. This guy who used to be scared of computers. But let me tell you something, guys. The speed at which you are going is determined by what is chasing you. I was being chased by hunger, and I said, I'm now going, 120 miles per hour. I'm not playing here. I'm not messing about. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I will grind. If I get a chance at work, I will be configuring myself, configuring things, right? In the evening, so I would do like 4 or 5 hours a day. And guess what? I was 37 years old. There were 14 people in our class, right? When I started, I was asking, I used to ask, I think I was sitting next to Stuart and Brian, my good friends. Guys, I mean, what is this thing called an IP address? What's happening? And they helped me a lot, those young guys, if you want to go forward, play with the young guys. They know the stuff, So I got into the course without any prior knowledge. But this guy did some basic knowledge. I was asking these guys. Okay, right, what do you do? Ask a lot of questions. And this time, guys, there is Mr. F to answer you. Okay, we're there to handhold you. Alright? Every step of the way. Okay? Until you get to your destination. And like I always say, determination separates people. I've trained thousands of people, but it's not the most important, most intelligent people who get to pass, who get to do well. No. It's those people who want it more. I posted in the WhatsApp there that desire is a potent metaphysical force. I'll repeat that. Desire is a potent metaphysical force. It's unstoppable. You can't stop a man with great desire. You can't. There's nothing like that. So it's about how badly do you want it? Do you still want to be carrying boxes the rest of your life? And you're going to be getting older? People are chasing you around. My friend. chop with that millimil. Huh? Or do you want to spend 3 months, grind every day, get into a system, grind. See, when you're learning to ride a bicycle, the first time, maybe you can fall and get hurt. Second time, third time, but it gets better. You get into a rhythm. And when you get into a rhythm, now what's happening is that, if you call me and you ask me to configure this, I'll just come. I'm riding a bicycle. Okay? Why? Because I've put in the hours of practice that are needed. Okay? That's the thing. So now, I'll go on to the other track, right? I'll go on to the other track. I talked about the routing and switching track. Now, this is very interesting. And guys, please be careful because there's going to be questions around what I'm talking about these courses, right? When you do CCNA, okay, Cisco Certified Networking Associate, I said you can go on to do routing track, or you can take the security track. Now, the security track, Dr. Jones is enjoying this. Desire is a potent metaphysical force. That's the one, Dr. Jones, all right? Yeah, I think Dr. Jones, where are you, Dr. Jones? I'm feeling good here. I'll send him $20 after the lecture. Please just, inbox me, in WhatsApp. Dr. Jones, inbox me your details there. Your full name as it appears on your ID. All right, and then the number where your word remit message will come to. All right, to give you 20 there, and then you can go and enjoy some lunch with your wife or with your partner. So Dr. Jones, $20 there. Okay, fine, fantastic. Let's move on. So I was talking about the security track, guys. This track is very important because we are now living in a life of hackers. You see, you can configure the network, set it up, right? But you need to protect that network. So the security track now is where you find your firewalls. Okay, guys. You find your firewalls. You find your VPNs. Huh? Somebody please drop in the chat there what VPN stands for and what it does. Okay? So you never know, I'm not saying that you get something for describing a VPN, but you never know. Just like Dr. Jones, you may get something there. You're welcome, Dr. Jones. You said thank you so much, Mr. F. Right. Music 365 says this is very informative. Okay. Right. So now I said routing and switching. There's what? CCNP Enco, Enterprise Core. Now on the other side of the security track, there's security core. Are we together? security core is now the prerequisite for the expert level course that I was telling you about. CCIE security. I want you guys to Google right now. Kevin Makumbe says virtual private network. Thanks, Kevin. Normsoft Solutions. Yes, virtual private network, right? Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. So, Tendai also virtual private network. Right, fantastic. So, we're saying that security core is a prerequisite for CCIE, CISCO certified internetwork security expert. Now, I'm going to go to ChatGPT now. Remember, I told you that CCNA, we're talking about 25,000 to 45,000. Okay, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Okay, bear with me. Okay, what are the average salaries for? Want to ask now, CCIE security engineer. Okay, Control V. Okay, oh, oops, I'm on the wrong computer now. Okay, Control V for CCIE. You can also Google that side, guys. If you see the salaries, please post them in the chat. CCIE security average salary, UK. Somebody please do America. Somebody please do Australia. Okay. What are the average salaries for CCIE security in UK? So that I'm doing UK. CCIE security network engineer. Right. Right, listen to this, guys. This is interesting now, okay? As of my knowledge, cut off in September 2021, the average salary range for CCIE security certified network engineers in the UK is approximately 50,000 to 90,000 pounds per year. The actual salary can vary depending on factors, blah, 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 blah. But did you hear the figure? 50 to 90,000 per year, CCIE security. Okay? I'm going to tell you something very interesting now. Can somebody post, please, CCIE security America? Right, Kevin Makumbe says America is US 150,000. Listen to this. 150,000 per annum. Huh? Follow the knowledge, and the money will what? The money will follow the knowledge. Grind. Is this not worth grinding for a year? Mwenye here Akili, I'm grateful to get real life lessons from someone who's in the industry. Thank you so much. Mr. Akili, where are you at? Are you in Zambia? Where are you at? Right. So, listen to these figures. 150,000. If you look at Australia again, Australia, that's around 150,000 US. Now, let me tell you something, guys. Interesting story. Okay? When I was training from my flat in Josiah Chinamano, where Fantech started out, in my lounge, whiteboard on top of a deep freezer, 3 students sitting on